Hello, my name is Tom, and this is my channel, That Old School Magic. Today I'll be playing Ninja Gaiden on the PC Engine since not many people know what it's like. Mostly everyone has already played the NES and SNES versions of this game, so I figured it would be a good opportunity to put this one on display for people to see. Before I begin, I want to mention that the goal for every video is to play for as long as I can while enjoying a game the best way possible. That includes using additional means to make it more interesting. Always check the description of my videos for more information. Also, for context, when I say NEC version, I'm referring to the PC Engine game. Now, with that being said, let's get started. First, I'm going to change the game's language. From what I've read, there's Japanese, English, and Chinese translations included. It's been said that father was killed in a fight, but why? I know nothing about it. The day after father's death, in his room, I found a note for me. Ryu, I have to go. Once I leave, I can never come back. Take our ancestral Hayabusa's dragon sword and go to America to find the archaeologist Mr. Walter Smith. Ryu, be strong and live on. Father, I swear I will avenge your death. During the making of this game, the developer's intention was to take more advantage of the PC Engine's hardware while tweaking gameplay and difficulty, creating more of an in-game balance while making it look better visually. They nailed it for the most part, but there's one drawback you'll see later. Something of note in this first stage is that the fire wheel no longer replaces your sub-weapon like it did in the NES version. This is handy since you can now have momentary protection without giving anything up. But something that sucks is, they nerfed the spin slash's damage against the bosses in this game. Before you could take out most of their health in one swipe, but now it's useless. This boss isn't hard though. Duck, slash, back away, and repeat. Who's that? Why is he following me? Who's there? Oh, it's just a girl. Get lost, honey. I will, but... What? Where am I? I'm trapped and powerless. Who are you? Be quiet, I need your help. Take this and escape right away. What is this, a statue? I've got no time to explain, hurry up. Wait, who are you? Don't you want to kill me? Be careful, somebody's coming. Don't get too used to my bad voice acting. I'm not gonna remember how every character sounds after voicing them. It'll just be for fun. Before doing this video, I looked back. When was the first time I heard of Ninja Gaiden? I'm not that old, so it wasn't on NES. It was on the OG Xbox with Ninja Gaiden Black. One night, my brother's friend came over to drink some beer and watch some UFC fights. I can't remember who was on that night. It was a long time ago. But some of their favorites were Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, The Shamrocks, Rampage, and GSP. Anyways, he brought over the game, and when my bro played it, he didn't like it for some reason. I never understood why, because when I did, it clicked immediately. I never got to finish Ninja Gaiden Black because it got harder around chapter 6 or 7, and by then, I had to give it back. Years later, I discovered the nerd and saw his video on Screw Attack's website when they had exclusivity on his work. The game seemed pretty cool, but looked difficult towards the end. I wasn't entirely sure since I didn't have an NES to try it out until a few years ago. But once I did, I played it for a while and he was right. Towards the end it gets hard as shit. I can't blame anyone for cheating since it gets stupidly hard. Especially the young kids growing up back then. At first glance, this stage looks pretty good, but then you see how the background moves. I'll speak on that later towards the end of the video. This boss is like the last one, but with a different weapon. Either use a normal slash or ducking slash, then back away and repeat. If you need more space, you can climb walls by jumping toward them, then jump away, and while in midair, immediately move back toward the wall like this. It takes getting used to, but it's useful throughout the game. What is this strange-looking statue? And who is that girl? My father's friend Mr. Smith must have the answers. Or at least he'd better. Who is that? You must be Mr. Walter Smith. I am Ryu Hayabusa. Oh, that sword. So you are the son of Joe Hayabusa. This is my father's last letter telling me to see you. Last letter? So it has already started. What do you mean? Joe and I had been investigating an old Amazon ruin. In the ruin, we found 2 statues and a stone tablet recording their secret. Moreover, wait, do you mean this statue? Yes, that's the one. I thought it had been stolen. The demon of these statues has enough power to destroy the entire world. The demon came to bring death to the earth. A ninja came to stop him. The ninja used the power of the dragon sword to defeat the demon. But since the demon was immortal, the ninja could not kill him. He broke the demon's power and confined it in the light and shadow statues, while his body was held in a temple. This one must be the shadow statue. I've got the shadow statue now. Ha ha ha! No! You must get it back, Ryu. Around early spring last year, I decided to get a TurboGrafx after hearing about Crix's Turbo EverDrive Pro and how it can use the CD technology without the add-on. I never had one, so I looked up their prices and fuck are they expensive. After a while, I gave up trying to get it because a decent looking one with the controller was almost 300 bucks. No turbo tap, turbo booster, or anything. Except there was a few with the Keith Courage game, but I wasn't interested in that. Then I saw some videos on YouTube where people recommended getting PC engines instead. I looked some up and found a clean looking Core Graphics 2 for almost half the price. Afterward, I ordered the system, the EverDrive, and the Turbo Nanza, the latter of which is needed to run CD games in stereo. Once received, I sent the system and Nanza to a modder who's worked on my consoles the last few years. Okay, I can't take on both those guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna despawn one of them. There you go. Just gotta walk away from the screen and make sure they're not in their original spot where they normally spawn. It works in a lot of places. When I got the PC Engine back, I tried it out for a while and realized it has a decent library, but it's not big compared to the Super Nintendos or Genesis. There's still a good number of games between the original system and the CD that makes it worth owning, but a lot of the best ones were kept in Japan. It could have been better received if they had brought more of them to the States. From my understanding, they decided to make their own games instead, which were mostly horrible and only made the TurboGrafx look bad. If you have the windmill shuriken, this boss becomes a joke. Keep throwing it at him until he's done. If you run out of Ninpo, pick a side where he jumps to. Duck, then slash repeatedly as he lands a bit away from you. Also works when he's shooting projectiles. I've got the shadow statue. I must hurry back. Mr. Smith! Ryu! The light statue was stolen. The light statue? To prevent the statues from combining into one, Joe and I each Elder One. The demon is awaking. After 700 years slumber, we must stop him. Only the Dragon Ninja can do it. Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith? Now, why don't you come with us? Welcome, Ryu. I'm sorry to have startled you. This is the CIA base. My name is Foster. What do you want with me? Let's get right to the point. Wait, tell me why you killed Mr. Smith. We didn't kill him. Let me tell you the story. It seems an ancient ruin was found deep in the Amazon jungle. The explorer, Mr. Smith, was studying the ruins. But he suddenly sealed the temple. No one has set foot there since. But later on, the temple was possessed by the Guardia de Max. He called himself the Devil Doer, according to our investigation. The temple was used to imprison the demon's body. Moreover, the statue you have is the only key to unlock the magic spell. Dr. Smith probably knew that. So, the Devil Doer killed him. It probably wasn't him, it was probably one of his cronies or something. The last words read, "The lunar eclipse will crumble the light and shadow statues, and the King of Darkness will reign terror. Anyone who brings the demon back to life will gain power to dominate the entire world." Incredible! The girl who shot you in the bar was a spy we sent. Go to the temple and bring back the light statue. Of course, you won't work for nothing. I guarantee you a handsome reward. And if I say no? You are not that stupid, are you? This stage received a big change in terms of background design compared to the Nintendo releases. In those, they placed a big mashup of green all over the place, making it look a little too foresty. Here, they redesigned it by adding individual trees, vines, and plants separately from each other, which makes it easier to tell what you're looking at. Damn tiger. Oh my god, that was so close. From here to stage 5-4, I'll be putting up footage when there's a notable change in a stage's level design and or background. That way you can see the difference between versions. It's always a castle. I wonder if Dracula is waiting for me.
Father.
Well met, my son. It's been a long time.
I was hoping we would not see each other again. I can't allow you to leave here, Father.
You have ever been the ally of humans. Have you forgotten what they did to your mother?
Think you I would forget such a thing? No, but neither do I seek revenge against them.
Still uttering the same nonsense.
The rails separating into two paths and the carriages bringing up coal is a nice touch that makes it look like people were working here before I arrived. It must suck to work inside these caves not knowing the chief is trying to kill everyone with a demon. Now that I think about it, that's a good way to get out of paying the workers. Those poor bastards will never know what hit them. This is where it starts to get a little harder because enemies are placed in spots that can be annoying to attack or avoid. I say that, but sometimes enemies spawn differently each time you play. If you're lucky, you'll get a room with very few enemies. Here, you can take either the upper or lower path. The lower one is easier when the upper has too many enemies, but you need to nail down the wall jumping to get up there. No enemies spawned for me here, so it was a little easier during this run. Something unique I experienced with these two enemies on the Super Nintendo game. During practice runs, 2 more enemies would pop up after taking one out. It kept happening, so I looked it up, and apparently it's a glitch that happens when killing the monster starting first from the right. Fortunately, this doesn't happen in NEC's version. Duck when they throw their projectiles and use your windmill shuriken when close together. If you run out, pick a corner where they jump to. Duck and wait until they're close and give them a nice slashing. Thank you for bringing back the shadow statue. Now give it to me. You must be dreaming. You dare say no? What? Ryu. Get away from her. No, Ryu, don't hand it over. Leave the statue on the floor and move aside. Good. Thank you very much. Have a nice trip. No. Throw the girl in the pond for the fish. Finally, I've got it. Tonight is the night of the first revival after 700 years. Then I will rule the whole world. Ah, 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 ah. Now, this place looks awesome. This is something that really sets itself apart from the other releases because Nintendo of America would never have allowed this on their consoles. NEC of Japan didn't care as much, so Tecmo was able to make the stages however they liked, without needing to make changes. It's unfortunate this didn't release here because Ninja Gaiden fans would have thought this looked pretty cool back then. This is kind of a long stage. They really wanted you to take the atmosphere. It kind of feels like you're in hell. Or it looks like it at least. Damn! Oh man. -2 is where people start having trouble because you need to make a certain wall jump to get past a small section toward the end of the stage. When I get there, I'll tell you more about it. Almost there. Not too much farther now. Here we are. Now what they want you to do is jump to the wall on the right, then jump to the left while dropping down to grab the lower part of the other wall. And finally, jump to the platform on the right to finish. Don't worry about the bird because it can't knock you away unless you're in the air. The girders being pulled up the stage gives it a cool industrial look you never really see too commonly in games. I usually speed through this section because it's short and simple, especially compared to the other releases. It's almost a perfect slash and dash stage in the entire game, but there's one spot towards the end I might have trouble on. Yep, this might take a bit. There's always something that gets you somewhere. I find it easier to just let the bird hit you so you can get closer to the girder and attack the guy shooting the missiles. There's no need to collect additional items before facing the boss unless you want more points to raise your score. But who the hell wants to do that in a game like this? I, Bloody Master, won't let you pass here. In that case, I'll have to kill you. What a brave fool you are, just like your father. But your father was a much better swordsman than you. So it's you who killed my father. Come and fight, Ryu Hayabusa. This guy likes to talk big by saying Ryu is weaker than his dad, but as you fight him, you'll realize he isn't shit. All you need to do is outstrike him with your sword, and you'll finish him in no time. You killed my father? Killed him? I did fight with your father, but he didn't die. Liar! I'm not lying. If you proceed further, you will come to know the truth. It kind of makes you wonder, how did Ryu's dad, Joe, lose to this guy if he was so easy to beat? Now, if you're expecting a good answer after that last sentence, I don't really have one. I figured Joe was pretty old when he faced the masked man at the grassy field. But here, it looks as if it shouldn't have been difficult to defeat him. Considering the masked man is stronger now than he was then. It should have been easy work. That doesn't look good. I gotta hurry up and finish the mission before the castle collapses. You know, after playing this and some of the other 16-bit remakes of the time and seeing how today the industry loves re-releasing and remaking games from the 90s and 2000s, why hasn't there been a collection for the classic Ninja Gaiden games? They have one for the Sigma games and Razor's Edge, but why not release a collection with the NES trilogy and include this game, the Game Boy game, and the SNES trilogy as a bonus? I'd pay 20 to 30 bucks for it. Don't think they could ask for any more than that. Also, there's several games from back then I'd love to see get the remake treatment for older audiences and newer ones. Like Silent Hill 1, Origins, Never Saw Spider-Man, Xenogears, Eternal Darkness, and the MSX versions of Metal Gear 1 and 2. It would also be a good opportunity to do games that didn't meet expectations like Castlevania 2, Zelda 2, MK Mythologies, Resident Evil 0, and Code Veronica. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, why the hell would they do that? Or why haven't they done them yet? These companies don't realize the gold mines they're sitting on. Whether it was a good or bad game, they could improve them today where they couldn't before. Most of those I listed are planned for the channel someday. Look forward to them if you're interested. This is the last stage before facing the final boss. Be prepared before you get there. Even though this version of the game is a little more balanced, it's still nothing to take lightly, especially if it's your first time playing. Before arriving to the boss, you're going to need your health filled to at least 70%. It's still possible with a lower percentage, but any less and you might struggle. Stock up on at least 40 or more Nimpo, and make sure you have the flame sub-weapon that launches fire into the air. The final boss has 3 forms. With each, you need a strategy and consistent rhythm with your dodging and attacks. Be patient, because if you break the rhythm by getting ahead of yourself, it might be hard to recover from that mistake. Also, like the original game, if you lose a life to any of the 3 final boss forms, it automatically sends you back to the start of 6-1. This is the last area where you could get the flame weapon. If you were following along with me but want to try the final boss on your own, good luck. Okay, Ryu, show me how good you really are. Devil Doer, dare to come out? Don't even dream of defeating me, the Master Devil. I never lose, even against your father. What? Joe wasn't killed in the duel. He was turned into the Master Devil. I don't believe it. A desperate fight between father and son. How interesting. Father, wake up. It's useless. He only thinks of killing you. This is what Bloody Master was talking about. What should I do? I must be calm. Something is controlling Father's mind. If I break the control... Wait, what's that? That's it! For the first form, you need to strike the green orb in the middle of the room using the sword from up close, and use the flame projectile from a distance. Don't stay in one spot for too long, because boss 1's small projectiles will keep following you. Don't get discouraged if you are knocked back to the corner a lot. Just keep moving forward, then strike like I do. Father. Hey, what's going on? Ryu, is that you? Yes. Oh no, he's awake. Devil Doer, you will all perish. Father! Ryu, only you can defeat them. Father. Devil Doer, your day has come. In the second form, you need to juke Boss 2's projectiles. Move one direction, then go the opposite way to avoid them. Then jump and slash the boss with the sword when you have a good opportunity. Try not to get hit with his attacks midair, because then they'll try to keep homing in on you. Be patient and build a rhythm without breaking it. Ryu! You're alright, that's great. Father, let's get out. We must leave the temple. Wait, Ryu. We still have time. Take the statues from the temple first. Before the dark moon comes. Look at that, Ryu. An eclipse. This is the so-called dark moon. Oh no, the statues. On the final form, you first need to take out the head by jump slashing. If the slimes get in the way, then take care of the closest one to the head. Sometimes it would be better if you let them move before slashing so they're not a bother to you. Once the head comes off, get in a little close and strike the slimes and neck simultaneously. Oh my goodness, that was close. Father, let's get out of here. Ryu, I can't go on. This temple is about to collapse. Take the girl and escape. How can you say that, Father? I can't leave you here. Ryu, you're a man now. Let me die with the statues. Ryu, be brave.
Father!
Ryu. This is Sea Wolf. This is Foster. I saw the explosion via the satellite. Well done. Now comes your next duty. Go and kill Ryu Hayabusa. What? To kill Ryu? That's right. Then bring me the statues. Yes, sir, I will kill him. Trust me, Mr. Foster. Oh, Ryu. It looks like I get 2 rewards. I've got 1 already. The next one is you, Foster. You're next. Ryu, wait. Ryu! What was your first reward? He's just in front of my eyes. You haven't even told me your name. Irene. Irene Liu. Look, Irene. The sun is about to rise. The darkness is over, and the gleaming lights of dawn fill the sky. Between the 3 versions of Ninja Gaiden, this one's my favorite. The solid music, balanced difficulty, improved visuals, redesigned characters and stages make it a more enjoyable experience that's easy to recommend. But even though I liked it the most, that doesn't mean it replaces the original and makes it obsolete. It's just another good way for people to experience the game, even more so for those who've never completed either the NES or Super NES versions due to their difficulty. However, that doesn't mean this game will be a cakewalk. You'll still have difficulty, just not as much compared to the other two. You see, a week before recording this, I asked a buddy of mine, Rolando, to play the PC Engine version since it'd be a new experience for him like for most people. Even with the more balanced difficulty, he struggled when not knowing how to respond when enemies blocked the path, or when they appeared out of nowhere. What annoyed him the most were the one-hit deaths from getting knocked into pits. It was funny watching him play because when he'd forget a surprise enemy that killed him a minute or two ago, he'd die the same way 3 or 4 more times after that. Memorization is important, or else you're gonna die a lot in this game. Now, something I want to talk about that's surely been on your mind throughout most of this video are the funky looking backgrounds that are near impossible to miss, like the one in 2-2. This is the one thing that holds the game back because the background scrolling in certain stages distracts people. For me, it was weird to look at in the beginning, but after a while I started to get used to it. Some people might be wondering, why does it look like that? One of the hardware limitations on the PC Engine is that it can only have one background layer. To make it look good, developers need to perform some sort of trickery to make it appealing to the viewer. I understand the criticism for those specific moving backgrounds, and after a while, it made me think, what if someone who knows how to hack PC Engine games finds a way to get the scrolling right so it isn't a problem for people anymore? I figured either reversing the background movement or turning it into a still image would help, but I don't know anything about game hacking. Anyways, after this I'm gonna start working on the next game I have planned for this channel. I want to do these videos faster, so they're not always going to be as informative as in some parts of this video. They're going to be mixed with casual talk, information about the game, and anything else I think is worth putting in it. The selection of games I have planned are spectacular, and some may even surprise you, but you'll have to wait and see. With the video finished, I hope this was an interesting and enjoyable experience for those that made it here to the end. If you enjoyed this, feel free to give it a like, hit the subscribe and the bell notification to be informed of more videos coming soon. See you next time!